The principle where microbiologists studies microorganisms is by observing them through a microscope. A microscope is a device that enlarges objects using a process called magnification. The simplest form of a microscope is a magnifying glass consisting of a single lens. Some glasses are slightly bent at the bottom, causing a magnifying effect if held at a certain height over an object.
The people we know resemble us in the most basic social characteristics, such as gender and educational background. Although our friends tend to be similar, many people are unaware of this because they did not pick their friends for their similarity. Our social connections depend first and foremost on whom we get to meet. This depends on the social contexts we enter and the activities we engage in.
In the past decades, dramatic changes in diet and lifestyle have fueled a rampant increase in heart disorders. What is even more alarming is that heart conditions are no longer restricted to higher age groups, but affect young people as well. Heart disorders like strokes are the most commonly known today, and its symptoms include chest pain, weakness, and heart attack.
Take a Break is a program that encourages teens who have signed up for it to log off after they have been on the platform for a certain amount of time. Starting Tuesday, the feature is available to any users between the ages of 13 and 18 based on how they self-reported when they signed up for Instagram.
Technology strengthens learning and dominates over the conventional methods into many aspects. Technologies are advancing learning procedure by their multiple formats, variety of resources, numerous delivery channels, and not restricted to time, space, and place. Social media is a new form of communication that transformed the entire landscape of information access and dissemination online.
To overcome procrastination, you need to have an understanding of the reasons why you procrastinate and the function procrastination serves in your life. You can't come up with an effective solution if you don't really understand the root of the problem. As with most problems, awareness and self-knowledge are the keys to figuring out how to stop procrastinating. Identification and characterization of microorganisms is a key part of the management of food safety and quality. Tracing contaminants and troubleshooting problems such as spoilage. Knowing how to identify bacteria or other known microorganisms that you have encountered can help to assess whether it poses a safety concern or is likely to be heat resistant, for example.
Connective tissue cells provide structural strength to the body and also defend against foreign invaders like bacteria. Two types of cells are native to connective tissue. Other cells migrate into connective tissue from the bloodstream to fight diseases. Special types of connective tissue are designed to be stronger and more rigid than most connective tissues.
Most state governments are subject to a requirement to pass a balanced budget. However, a budget that may fit the statutory definition of a balanced budget may not be financially sustainable. For example, a budget that is balanced by such standards could include the use of non-recurring resources, such as asset sales or reserves, to fund ongoing expenditures and thus not be in structural balance. Enthusiasm seeks to contribute to a culturally and historically nuanced understanding of how emotions secure and ratify the truth of convictions. More than just pure affective intensity, enthusiasm is about something a certainty, clarity, or truth. Enthusiasm takes its starting point in religion, the social arena in which the concept was first debated and to which the term still gestures.
Currently, in South Australia, the majority of people who have a positive COVID-19 test result will stay in the community, in their home, or in supervised or supported care. A team of health professionals will carry out an assessment and ask you a series of questions, including identifying your symptoms, your medical history, and if you can safely isolate away from others.
A better government plan is based on the assumption that government has a positive role to play in improving people's lives but could perform this function far more effectively than it does now. What distinguishes the better government plan from the other two is that instead of changing the size of government, it reallocates spending in ways designed to improve government performance.
In the Science Mission Directorate, the Astrophysics Division studies the universe. The science goals of this division are breathtaking. We seek to understand the universe and our place in it. We are starting to investigate the very moment of creation of the universe and are close to learning the full history of stars and galaxies. We are discovering how planetary systems form and how environments develop.
Usually, the female of the species invests more in parenting. Females of many species choose their mates based on certain characteristics, such as large canine teeth in a male baboon or flashy tail feathers on a peacock, which in turn means those traits will be passed on to their male offspring. Biologists call this process sexual selection, which is related to natural selection. Scientists have discovered a 5-million-year-old pig-nosed fossil in Melbourne, thousands of kilometers south of their typical home. Pig-nosed turtles tend to be found in tropical freshwater ecosystems in northern Australia and New Guinea, only arriving here a few thousand years ago. The creatures are now endangered and the sole survivors of an extinct group of tropical turtles from the northern hemisphere.
In a normal, the light rays come to a sharp focusing point on the retina. The retina functions much like the film in a camera. It is responsible for capturing all of the light rays, processing them into light impulses through millions of tiny nerve endings, then sending these light impulses through over 1 million nerve fibers to the optic nerve. Thomas Edison used his access to the railroad to conduct chemical experiments in a small laboratory set up in a train. During one of his experiments, a chemical fire started and the train caught fire. The conductor rushed in and struck Edison on the side of the head, probably furthering some of his hearing loss.
The Spanish language has a rich and complicated history. It has navigated the rise and fall of great empires, has been a symbol of cultural identity, and has both been used as a tool of unity and caused considerable divisiveness. Today, it is the world's second most spoken native language and is used by people in all corners of the globe.
The American Cancer Society recommends following a healthy eating pattern at all ages. A new school year is the perfect time to try some healthier options for your child. Whether you're packing a lunchbox or making lunch at the kitchen counter, you can ensure they're eating healthy food that tastes good.
Hydropower is one of the renewable energies. In the past, hydropower was used for simple purposes by building a water wheel on a watercourse and using it to drive a mill or machine. Today, this is how it works. The kinetic energy of the flowing water is converted into the mechanical energy of the turbine, which is converted into electrical energy, or electricity for short, in a generator. Australia has a proud modern immigration history. Government discrimination has been banished, replaced by a skills-based system generating unparalleled economic gain for Australia. Creating an environment where innovation can thrive depends on immigration. With a population where 1 in 4 people are born overseas, Australia is already well positioned to kickstart a new period of growth.
A dead language may still be studied through recordings or writings, but it is still dead or extinct unless there are fluent speakers. Although languages have always become extinct throughout human history, they are currently dying at an accelerated rate because of globalization. Many projects are underway aimed at preventing or slowing language loss.
This unit provides a practical and theoretical introduction to what it means to be an IT professional today. Students will encounter a range of issues relevant to professional practice in the workplace, as well as an understanding of the wider responsibilities that professionals are called upon to uphold in society.
There are many benefits to bilingualism and exposure to multiple languages. Children who learn multiple languages learn to be sensitive to their conversation partners. They make word and language choices based on their knowledge of others. These are sophisticated social decisions that show advanced social skills.
Every metric ton of carbon dioxide humans emit comes at a cost, not only in terms of the financial toll of the damage wrought by floods, heat waves, and droughts, but also the price in human lives. Substantially curtailing emissions today could prevent tens of millions of premature deaths over the course of this century.
A diamond that formed deep in the Earth's mantle contains a mineral never seen before in nature. The discovery is a rare glimpse into the deep mantle and may help reveal new information about the structure of the planet at depths of more than 660 kilometers. This can help geologists better understand how the mantle controls the Earth's plate tectonics.
If a single medical objective could be applied to the entire range of cancers, it would be detecting the disease as soon as possible at the highest level. Finding any cancer early gives you the opportunity for curative treatments, says the CEO of a research funding organization.
relatively soon. Some prominent astrobiologists say we will most likely have either found compelling evidence for extraterrestrial life or banished its possible existence to the ever-shrinking edges of the cosmos beyond the rapidly expanding reach of our observations. Such answers could come by the end of this century from any of a number of initiatives ardently seeking alien life. Residential density is related to children's motor skills, engagement in outdoor play, and organized sports. Finnish children living the countryside spent more time outdoors and had better motor skills than their age peers in the metropolitan area. On the other hand, children living in the metropolitan area participated the most in organized sports.
Egg shape has long attracted the attention of mathematicians and biologists from an analytical point of view. The shape has been highly regarded for its evolution as large enough to incubate an embryo, small enough to exit the body in the most efficient way, not roll away once laid, is structurally sound enough to bear weight and be the beginning of life for so many species.